you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So, oh my gosh, y'all, like I had several things I wanted to talk about today, but I chose this because I feel like after watching Lori most of the day, and then tonight we're going to watch some more Casey Anthony over on Melissa's, I just thought this would be a nice little break away from that. I do want to talk about Lori. There was some pretty interesting testimony today, including the woman that Charles went on a date with the night before he was murdered. So I want to talk about all of that, but okay, so let me just tell you what I'm thinking with this, and I'm going to say hello to you guys. We're going to take it easy tonight. I haven't been doing individual hellos. Some people don't like that, but, I just want to talk to you guys. I've missed you. I haven't been on as much lately. So the Watts case is what brought me to YouTube, right? And I do know a lot about the case. But, after watching all these current cases unfold and actually requesting documents myself and listening to all the phone calls and digging through documents and stuff, I've realized along the way, I don't know the case in the way that I would like to. So I know the case more on just hearing it from other people. I never actually dug through the discovery. Now, I've seen certain pages from it and stuff and had discussions based around what other people have found in it. But as far as going through it myself and finding out the actual facts, not just what you hear on YouTube, I've not done that. And I think, shame on me, I should have done that a long time ago. But I want to do that now. I would like to know. It's kind of like when we went through Wade's case. I wanted to know the details of his crime. It's something that I was talking about or listening to, and I just wanted to know it better. And that's what we're doing here. I understand it might not be for everybody, and not everybody will understand it. And that being said, I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. This may not be for everybody, but for those of you who do want to go through it with me, I think it will be really interesting. And as far as not being for everybody, I do want to also say, I appreciate you guys reaching out to me and, caring about me, looking out for me. If you hear my name mentioned or see something about me said, I appreciate that so much. But I want you guys to know, I don't even care. If I mind my business, I own business, I don't start shit with anybody. I kind of look at it like, if there is somebody who obviously talking about me makes them feel better, well, then go for it. I'm too busy worried about my own life and what I'm doing. And I've never needed to put people down to feel taller or bigger or better. And so I just don't, I appreciate you guys, but it's all good. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. So that is the plan. Hey, Kimberly, you may not be for everybody, but you're for us. We love you. And I love you guys. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Dog Defender. Well, I am a bit scattered and all over the place and very anxiety ridden. So, I could get that it wouldn't be for everybody, and that's okay. Hey, Gen X, Gen 8. Hey, for Shiggles, Disabled Girl. Hey, Tess. Oh, Steffa. I'm so happy to see you. Steffa, you've been here with me since Watts Island. And do you know the case? I was thinking, I just don't know from digging through the discovery myself, from reading all of that, from reading the police reports. I kind of know from just listening to other people. So I can't wait to go through this with you guys. No pointer lover. It's all good. I'm just saying, hey, it happens more than you guys would know. It's not just really one person or anything like that. And I appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you, Gen X. You guys bring joy to my life too. So I may have cut out, thank you, Mallory, for a second. And I apologize, you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the beginning. And I think this will be cool because a lot of the people that joined me after all my time on Watts Island through Tisha or whatever, some of you guys don't know the case either, like that. I say either I know a lot about it. Again, let me say, I'm not saying I don't, just not from digging through Discovery myself. I think that it's a nice little break from Lori, but let me drop some links really quick and then we're going to get started. So Bendy has been streaming Lori Vallow, doing a great job. I know that's not easy. If you're interested, oh my God, I just put exclamation point Lori for my Nightbot link. Girls, Nana, thank you for being a member for 17 months. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate that. Thank you. And then Melissa will be over on her channel tonight doing the Casey Anthony stuff. And Amber. Now, I'm going to drop my friend Amber's link, but I also have her documentary in the description. And she has done a great job actually digging through the discovery and the facts of this. And she's also a really good filmmaker. So check that out if you haven't yet. And okay, so I think this is how we're going to start. This happened in August of 2018. Chris Watts took the life of his wife, Shanann, and their two kids, Bella and Celeste, and his wife was also pregnant, and they were going to name that baby Nico. It's, there's been a lot of conspiracies. This case never went to trial. So even though we do have the discovery and things like that, what we're going to look through, you never got to see, witnesses on the stand and those kinds of things. There's a lot that's missing. And people's opinions are all over. So I have grabbed a couple things. It's a really interesting case, and I think it caught people's attention because Shanann was so active on social media. So I've put this link in the description. It's a playlist of all of her Facebook videos. Shanann was pretty high up in this MLM called Thrive, and she was on live every day. That was her job. She shared a lot of her family and just a lot. So we're not going to watch these, but we are going to watch one or two. I've linked it in the chat. Wow, this playlist has 862,000 views. That's wild. So let's watch just to get a feel for who these people are. And we're going to start here. We're going to then watch just a minute or two of his interview with the news on his porch, which grabbed so many people's attention. I'm going to show you an article that's in the Denver Post where Nicole Kessinger actually did an interview before everything started coming out. All of this is in the description, and then we'll get into the discovery, into the actual case files. And I've looked ahead very little. I have looked ahead, but honestly, I don't know what we're going to come across. Again, I just can't believe I haven't went through it page by page already by now, but I just haven't. So, okay, let's start here. Oh. That's too sweet, guys. Oh my God. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to watch a couple of these.
Hey guys, so we're super excited. It's me and Bella. We're here to announce our second winner for the $300 cash prize that we had. We had to hit $2,000 in volume, and not only did we hit the $2,000 in volume, but we smashed it and we hit 40K as a team. So I'm so excited for you guys. So we had a lot of entries yesterday. We had Genevieve, we had Chrissy, had 2 entries. We had
okay. Oh,
hey guys, so we're super excited.
Again, she's doing her Thrive thing. Oh, what did I do here? Looks like this is, their house. Them working on their house, building their house, which I think we'll get into some of that in the discovery. Let me move forward a little bit. Let's go here. Just skipping around.
Hi guys. So I just got home and put the
Shanann's beautiful. You know, there's a lot of people who have been really negative towards her. And, you know, people can have their opinions. I don't care. People can feel how they feel about MLMs or about sharing your kids on social media or whatever. Here's the thing, that is dangerous, but it was the monster in their own home, you know, and I don't want to villainize them at all. Shanann has gotten a ton of that. People just have been horrible to her. And I just don't want to do that here. You can have opinions, but please just remember to keep it classy, because yeah, I just don't want to, I don't want to add to that.
The kids to bed. And I wanted to kind of just touch base and
Nene,
talk to you guys today. I
super
had a
sticker.
lot of things on my mind. Being the beginning of the month.
Thank you, Nene. I appreciate that.
And just kind of to chit chat with you guys a little bit. But before that, I need to take my Pure because it's been going crazy. The last couple of days been really busy. So, hi, Rhonda. How are you?
She is stunning, Steph.
I really, really, really like Pure.
Hey, Natasha.
So, I just kind of wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about what I'm grateful for.
Hey, Roxanne.
The biggest thing I'm grateful for is my team. So, when I started promoting Thrive back in January, I didn't expect to form a relationship or a bond with so many people like I have over the last 10 months.
A lot of her friends were in Thrive, you know, and like I said, she was very high up. They were doing vacations together and stuff like that. Tony says I was Facebook friends with Shanann for a while before she was gone. Oh my gosh. Wow. Sherry says, I've never gone through it with you, Alex. I'm excited. I'm excited too. I look forward to knowing the actual facts of this. Yo knows Modesto. We're going to get there. I just wanted to show you guys who we're talking about and, you know, so you know a little bit going in. Let's look at one more and then we're going to keep going so we can get to the discovery. Let's see. Just clicked one on accident, so take a look at this.
So I am going to brave the zoo today by myself with my wild kiddos today, as one's in the pantry screaming. Get out of there. Come on. We got to go to the zoo. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
That's so funny with a bag of marshmallows. Look, people would take these clips and tear every little thing apart. And I'm not going to do that. I find that adorable. And I know how it is having little kids. I wanted to see if we could find one here with Chris. If we can, that's okay. I know they're out there and we can always come back to it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Right. Oh, okay. So this is a bunch of photos she shared. I'm going to actually mute it, but, and we'll watch like this. My God. He really looks a whole lot different. She was always beautiful. Yeah, sad. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now let's go over here for a moment. Then August the 13th, I believe it was, and I could be wrong. That's just out off the top of my head. You know, they go missing and he goes on the news to plead for them, I guess you would say. Let's just watch a minute of this and then we'll start into the case files and we can come back. He has actually, I didn't realize there were two different porch interviews, one with Denver 7, one with another local news agency. And I do have both of those here, but we'll just go for this one.
WATTS.
Wow. What's going on right now around your house?
Right now, you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's they're doing their best right now to figure out if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car or they went somewhere. And right now it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
Now, so many people saw this and immediately thought, whoa, something is like wrong here. There's something very wrong. If you were one of those people, let me know. Tobeans, thank you for being a member for 13 months. Keep up the great work, Ellie. Thank you, Tobeans. And Lil Red, thank you for being a member 17 months. Wow, it's been 17 months. I think it's longer, but who counts anyways? Love you. Thank you. I appreciate you helping to grow my baby channel. Well, thank you, Lil Red. I appreciate you getting us the documents, being here, supporting me. Yeah, and let me just drop your link really quick just because you mentioned it, and then people can check it out. Okay, so people saw this and they're like, whoa, big red flags, you know. Let me just see you guys in the chat that may have seen that.
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here.
The least bit bothered. Hey, Ray.
Like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say, you know, but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well. And
thank goodness for her friend Nicole. Okay, so Chelsea says, I remember seeing this live. My baby girl was about to turn 2 years old. That's so wrong. And people would be so cruel about her. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just a woman trying to raise her family, make money, and save her marriage. Yep, she was. I knew I was guilty as soon as I saw this interview. Support with Steffa says, remember the talk of dragon juice or something. So I don't remember dragon juice like specifically. However, I do remember all the talk about all the different drinks and stuff. And I do remember like Chris saying something about Nicole having him drinking these supplement drinks or something. We know that he was taking Thrive. So was Shanann, of course. That's why I'm really looking forward to like digging through all the actual factual information that came from police, because I'm realizing, and I've realized over time, that a lot of the things that I know are kind of just like, think about it in another case. For instance, because that's one that I do know so well, like before it went to trial, there were so many rumors. I mean, social media said Al was involved. There was a neighbor that came out, just like with Sebastian Rogers, with complete, lies, no factual information. There were all these different rumors with Letitia, and come to find out involving Harley, Al getting a gun and helping cover it up, helping move him, different horrible things like that. And come to find out when we got to trial, most of it was bullshit. Most of it was lies. And, unfortunately, we don't get a trial in this case, but it just makes me think, like, now that I didn't used to realize when I first came to YouTube, I was like so many other people who first came here, you don't realize all the misinformation. And if you're not a person who just like outwardly, tries to lie or shady in your regular life, you kind of don't see it coming at first, and you're new to the internet or these kind of social media sites, you can be so naive to what actually is going on there. And that was me for sure, without a doubt. So part of me doesn't know what I know that's actually true and what I know that's just social media bullshit. Now that I've came around to the other side and kind of really thought about and looked at like ethical true crime coverage, and I don't know, I just, my thoughts are changing and evolving. And I, of course, always want to like keep it factual and also respectful. And I know that it's going to be tough stuff to hear no matter what. Still important to talk about it. I think that we should always be talking about what's going on in our world in a factual manner. But I don't know. It just makes me think a lot of what I used to know may not be true. And I'm trying to keep more of an open mind. I have opinions made up about, we know the investigation wasn't completed, and I just want to try to hold my opinions back and just look at the actual factual, accurate information that's been documented by police, and some people don't even believe that. So that's the plan. Okay. I sure didn't realize all the misinformation. Me either. You think like something so serious, you just wouldn't think that people would lie. Like people are more concerned about making up the biggest rumor or going through the latest, like, oh my God, did this happen? Did that happen? And because it's so serious, you wouldn't think that people are more concerned about growing their channels and getting attention than, talking about these things factually. But unfortunately, that's just the truth. I feel like there's a pretty girl or cute guy epidemic, like in the Lori Daybell case. They can get away with so much because stereotypical good-looking people don't commit crimes. It's ridiculous. Nene, you're right. Think about with Raquel. If you've been watching Melissa, reading the emails, she simply cannot comprehend that someone who looks like Wade, that she is so attracted to, could be capable of what he's done. I think you're 100% right, Nene G, and on to something with that. Hey, Tara T. Good to see you. Hey, Kelly. His eyes are intense watching the officer. Yeah, it is hard to keep an open mind when you know some of the facts. And here's the thing, Lil Red. Some of the things that we think we know as facts may not even be facts. After being here for years and realizing I don't believe anything anymore unless I see it in black and white. I need to, of course I believe my friends and stuff like that, but still to take it as 100% factual information regarding something so serious, I need to see it like in the discovery or in the trial or whatever. Hey, Jenna's Gypsy. All right. So now let's go over to this. So I could probably upload this. To my Patreon when I tried to the free tier. I have a lot of files there on the free tier, but it's so big, I don't know how it will work. I will try to figure that out though and let you guys know. So here's page 1, Frederick Police Department. Scott Coonrod, it says, date of report August the 13th, 2825 Saratoga Trail. Charges: murder in the first degree, 3 charges, and tampering with the deceased human body, 3 charges. Victim, Shanann Watts. We have Chris here. Hold on. Celeste, Bella. You guys hear those birds? I'm so sorry. Okay. Then we have a witness, Nicole Atkinson. She's the one who called, and we can watch some of that too later. But let's keep going to the first police report here. Okay. So on August the 13th of 2018, at approximately 1:40 p.m., this officer was dispatched to 2825 Saratoga Trail on a reported check well-being. Nicole Atkinson called about her friend Shanann. Nicole stated she dropped Shanann off around 1:48 this morning. And we have that footage, too, of Shanann the last time she walked into her house with her suitcase. Nicole stated Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant and was not feeling well. She had dropped her off after her business flight from Arizona. Shanann was not answering phone calls or texts and had missed her doctor's appointment. Nicole and her son Nicholas went to the Watts residence and observed Shanann's car in the garage. The vehicle still had child seats inside of it. Nicole attempted to enter the front door, but it had a latch which prevents you from opening it more than 3 inches. Nicole had called Shanann's husband, Christopher, and requested he came home to check on Shanann. She stated Shanann was diabetic, but was not known to have seizures or to ever black out. And I don't think that turned out to be true. I guess we'll see. I think that she had some autoimmune disorders. I don't even know if that's how you say it, like autoimmune diseases, disorders. She had some autoimmune issues. Maybe that was just something to alert them. I guess I never realized she said she was diabetic. Then he goes on to say, upon arrival, I checked the front door. Nicole entered the password and it opened. So Oh, okay. The door had a safety latch, which prevented it from opening more than a few inches. I announced police department and heard no noises from Shanann or her children, Celeste and Bella. I did not see anything through the windows that was out of the ordinary. I checked all windows and the rear slider door. All were locked, and the sliding glass door had a lock bar on it. Nicole kept saying Christopher was not coming. She had called him several times, and he kept giving her different arrival times. I contacted Christopher by phone and asked for the garage door code. Christopher stated it did not work from the outside. He was about 5 minutes away at that time. So can you imagine, like, his panic? He's not ready for people to know that Shanann is missing. Her friend, pretty much immediately, when she's not answering, I mean, hell, we're in the, right around noon the next day, is on it. When Christopher arrived, we went inside through the garage to check for Shanann and the 2 children. Christopher gave consent to check the entire home. No one was found in the residence. Christopher did come up to me holding Shanann's wedding ring and stated he found it on the nightstand. And there's video footage of this. When Nicole asked where Shanann's phone was, Christopher went to the couch upstairs and found it in between the cushions. He did not know what the password was to Shanann's phone. Nicole knew it and turned it on. Christopher gave consent to look at her phone. No calls were made that morning. I contacted Detective Baumhover and requested he come to the residence. So I do remember that the phone was in the couch cushions. That's weird, right? That right there is weird. The wedding ring thing. Big red flag. Christopher stated Shanann arrived home from a trip around 2 a.m. He was asleep at the time. Now, let's be clear. This is the first story he gave about this night, okay? He gave several. He woke up around 5 a.m. to get ready for work, and they began talking about them separating. Christopher stated it was a civil conversation, and they were not arguing. They were emotional, though. Christopher stated they had been talking about separating for a few weeks. He stated about 5:27, he backed up his truck to the garage to load up his tools and left. Now, we know, as things progressed, and something that obviously was out on social media, there was video footage of him putting his family in the back of his truck. Now, you can't see it super clear, or putting Shanann, because you also see a little tiny shadow walk up to him in that footage, and we'll get there. But so this is at 5:27. He said Shanann was in bed at that time. Christopher stated Shanann told him she was going to a friend's house today with their 2 children. Christopher stated he did not ask Shanann which friend's house she was going to. He said he went to a job site, oil well, past Hudson, to check on it. He stated he was there alone for a few hours. He said he was an operator for Anadarko. Shanann's mother called during this time and was adamant that Christopher had done something, and I needed to check the GPS on his truck. His work truck has GPS on it. So I knew that she was suspicious immediately, but I didn't realize Shanann's mom calls during the police first talking to Chris and is like, he's done something. Check his GPS. AD found the shadows. Shanann's friend's son found her phone in the couch cushion. I seen it live as it happened. Yep, you're right, Sin. I remember that. I do believe you're right. Hey, Brandy, I wish they would have at least polygraphed the NK. Hey, Kelly, just got home from girls' night out. You know you're getting old when you're home by 8:30. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope you had fun. Actually, NA's son found it. Red flag. Okay. Can you imagine the police at this time? So this woman isn't answering. Her friend's worried. She just got home, though, so it's not like she's been gone a whole long time. Chris is like, no, you can't get in the house without me. Her mom's calling. He's done something. Check his GPS. Like, wow. So he goes on to say, Detective Baumhover and I checked the residence thoroughly. Shanann's purse, wallet, phone, credit cards, etc. were at the residence. Another big red flag. Her phone is here. Her car is here. Their car seats. She's not at a frickin' friend's house. He goes on to say, we observed nothing suspicious inside the residence, vehicle, or garage that gave the appearance of an altercation. Oh, yeah. And let's not forget, that's another thing. Like, you're immediately telling police, we did have an argument. How many times have you seen that, like on a Lifetime series or some kind of documentary, that when the husband is guilty, you know, he's admitting to, we did have an argument, but it wasn't, you know, eventually agreed or whatever. There may be some excuse, but I've seen that many times. He says, or the officer goes on to write, the master bed had the comforter sheets and pillows removed. That's weird. The fitted sheet was next to the comforter on the floor, and the pillows were on the other side of the bed on the floor. I did not observe the top sheet anywhere. Nicole said Shanann works from home, and it is extremely unusual for her to leave without her phone. She does direct sales, so she would need her phone anywhere she went. That's how, like, every Dateline starts out. Yes, Riley. Seriously. Oh, Kelly, I'm one-eyed typing. Oh, I hope you had fun. I have a cat question. Oh, I'm not too good on the cats for shickles. After spaying. Yeah, I don't know that one, but maybe somebody does. You guys are freaking smart in this chat. Mallory says, I always thought it was crazy how her friends were because Shanann didn't answer. That just goes to show how much of a routine yeah, it is. It is crazy though. I'm with you, because it's like you're immediately alarmed. It's not even like, okay, we haven't heard from her in 12 hours. This is the next morning. All she's really had time to do is come home. She gets home at 2 a.m. You know, that's what that said. I know that there's an exact time, but going off what we just read, around 2, she gets home, goes to bed. I mean, she'd only had time to get up and I don't know. She just wouldn't have time to do much by this point. Every single time. Interesting, Steffa. On the body cam, her purse is not on the counter at first, but it is when they come back. I always thought Shanann's parents were in total shock that Chris was involved. Well, now we know that, according to this, her mom called while he was first there at the house, check his GPS. Okay, so another thing. That's so weird about the sheets, and there's this missing sheet. It's not like they're in the washer, and I don't know. But I guess, you know, could be in the middle of like cleaning it. I don't know. So goes on to say, I did not observe the top sheet anywhere. She works from home, doesn't leave her phone ever. I checked with neighbors to see if anyone observed someone coming or going. Nathaniel T., neighbor to the east, showed me his home video surveillance. Oh, this is old neighbor Nate. And this is that famous footage you guys have likely seen where Chris is watching on his neighbor's TV the surveillance footage of him loading his wife into his truck. He's very nervous, pacing. We'll actually pull that up, but let's read through this. But we will watch that because I want to have it all together, and especially for people who haven't seen it. So at 1:48, Nicole's vehicle is observed leaving. So Shanann arrives home at 1:48 a.m. or her friend leaves. So she's definitely home by 1:48. At 5:27, Christopher's truck is observed being backed into the driveway. Now, hold on a second. Let me just say, it says the video doesn't show Nicole's car arriving to drop Shanann off. So, wouldn't be surprised if the video didn't catch other people's vehicles coming or going at times. You know, it's not going to see everything. Just have to remember that. At 5:27, Chris is observed backing his truck into the driveway. Nathaniel and Nicole both stated they had never seen him back into the driveway before. The truck leaves a short time later. The rear of the truck was obscured from the camera by the garage. The video shows no other vehicles coming or going. The garage door of the residence was checked. It did not open from the outside, but it did open and close from within. Do you guys think police were immediately suspicious or no? Let me know. So Christopher gave us consent to check Shanann's phone. It had an alert which stated the garage was open at 12:42. Wait, so that would be in the afternoon. Just one second, you guys. I just want to double check what time. Oh, so an hour before the call came in. Wow. So the garage door was open. Now, I'd heard rumors of stuff like that, but seeing it like this is just different. So she's reported at 1:40. Nicole's calling police in the afternoon. At 12:42, the garage door was open that day at noon. Okay, Detective Baumhover took the phone to the Frederick Police Department. Christopher showed me his phone, which shows alarm times when the doors are open. It sent an alarm at about the time stating he had left the open garage door. Christopher told me that at least 3 times, which I felt was unusual. Shanann's phone showed an alert at 12:42 for the garage door, which is the only way someone could leave the residence. Whoa, wait a minute. So Chris's phone didn't show that, but Shanann's did? All right, I have to put a pin in this. This is interesting. Christopher's demeanor was nonchalant. He asked one time if he should go look for his family. I advised him her car was at the residence and I needed him there for now. He did not ask again about looking, and he did not seem overly concerned. Nicole and Nate said they both felt Chris was extremely nervous. Nate said he had heard Christopher numerous times in the past yelling loudly at Shanann. Wow, I didn't know that Nate said that. So Nate is the neighbor again who his camera is the one who got this footage of the truck that morning. It seems like the friends and family knew what was up almost immediately, but just don't forget this 12:42. The garage door was open because Chris wouldn't have been there. And with all the rumors that someone else could be involved, I think it's important to take note and put a little pin in the things that show someone else could have been there. Who opened the garage at 12:42? Hey, Amber. So happy to be able to listen to deep dives in the case and not conduct them. Amber, I have dropped your documentary in the description. I think that, you've done a really great job digging through this, and it's not even necessary for me to do. It's just for my own curiousness. But please go check out Amber's documentary. It's so good. Hey, Tara, I have no idea really about this case, what you're doing. Yay, thank you. I'm glad that you're here. That is so odd, Tess. It is. And to see it in black and white like this, I knew I had heard something about this before. But again, once you realize all the rumors and bullshit that goes around in some of these cases, especially bigger ones, I just don't believe anything anymore unless I see it. And I recommend everybody be that way, for real. Don't believe shit you hear and only believe half of what you see. For real, for real. Okay, so I canvassed the neighborhood. No one I contacted observed any vehicles coming or going or anything unusual. I left business cards on a few residences that had video surveillance and requested copies if anything was observed. I had Weld County Dispatch send a check well-being bolo for Shanann and the children. The contact was recorded on taser camera. Now, I need to look for something really quick. I think we need to look at this before we move on. Now, I know that Nate's, his mom has written a book, and I think he lives in his old house. But here is the body cam where Chris is at the neighbor's house, and they're talking about this surveillance footage. Let's take a look together.
Lay down. Go to my
my stuff up in my cooler, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers, some of the tools that I have in my toolbox.
I loaded my stuff up in my cooler. That's what he's saying. And it is Chris talking. Let me turn on the closed captioning. Now, keep in mind, why are you standing with your back to the camera when your family is missing and you're trying to make sure that they didn't leave?
I'm going to have to do some pumping into rubbers today.
So nervous.
Out so far.
Is this on continually recording?
Yep. Well,
It's not, is it motion or is it?
event,
Okay, so it's motion.
any motion event that happens, I get cars driving from this street, and this is him at 517.
So the neighbor's like, I would have probably got it if she would have left. I get a lot of the stuff going on in this neighborhood on this camera. We know he doesn't get everything because of what we just read, but he's convinced that he would have it. So that's what he's saying. And he goes, but this is Chris at 5 o'clock this morning. Now let's watch Chris watch himself because he knows that this is when he loaded Shanann into the truck. So remember that. My gosh, my stomach is growling. Hey, Marco. So he did plead guilty, but these are all the case files that, were released after he pled guilty. Let's see, what did Amber say about the thing? Hey, Maria, I'm glad that you're here. I believe it was the inside garage door personally, not the outside one in a sunset off. Okay. Wait, which part about the phone, Kimberly? Let me go back and look. Oh, Shanann's phone showed an alert. Okay, so Shanann's phone showed that the garage door opened at 12:42. But this says right here, Shanann's phone showed an alert at 12:42 for the garage door, which is the only way someone could leave the residence. Chris's phone, I don't believe showed that because they didn't mention it. And he wasn't there. That Nicole wasn't reporting this to police for another hour. Hope I got that, Kimberly. Oh, thank you, Tara.
Usually park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in. Be easier, so lugging everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
Look at him. If I remember correctly, at the end, the neighbor's like, dude, he's acting weird. To the cop, we'll watch that. Dude's nervous AF. The utter panic of that man. Okay, Kimberly, awesome. Tara says he knows. Who could that have been? I don't know. Maybe he deleted the alert. I think that you're right, but I'm curious why, And Nene, I agree. You can never take his word for anything. He's told so many stories and so many versions of this. I mean, what he says is just, I don't know, irrelevant. Not irrelevant, but not to be taken seriously either. Now, people zoomed in, where the raw video, I think, was put out as well. But you really can't see in this version. It's way small back here because this is Nate's truck, this first truck. Look at him. Look at his face. I mean, wow. I can't. It's been a long time since I've seen this.
My detective just showed up.
So
he'll probably want to talk to you. You'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there was any sort of action out there,
His camera,
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were kind of stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that. And I had parked my truck
I
out
had
here.
it parked right here.
Yeah. So someone
See if
Nate said if there was any action, I would have got it, which isn't true because he didn't get Nicole and Shanann arriving that night, but
see where someone tried to jimmy with a flathead
He's got his mind made up, you know.
Over there, and it was just like,
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would
if it would
have.
have been like right in that area, it should have. I mean,
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
you know where that tree is?
Oh, yeah. Watch, I'll show you. There's nothing on here. We've already watched that one.
Hey, Colby.
But like, you'll see this car.
What security system do you have?
You can see this car starting to drive down the street.
That one.
Oh, look,
See what I'm saying? It picks up all the way down there.
He's next door.
there we go.
Okay, we're going to skip a little bit. I'm going to share the link to this in the chat, though, so you can see it in full. But this is right before he goes, and I want us to see this part.
It says it was shut during the day. But I think when Nikki's son, he may try to move the door around, maybe when they were trying to get in the door, in the garage door, and it probably broke the laser there. That's because my alarm started going off.
Well, I know he said the front door he tried going in, but he had the lock
Yeah,
up,
that's for
so
the
that
kids,
set
so
it
they don't
off.
get out.
Right.
My God, that's for the kids. It's freaking sad.
Outside doesn't work anymore. It got wet and it's the whole radio on the back.
Yeah, that was it.
All right. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully something comes up here.
Okay, now we want to hear what Nate says, but I don't want to get too far behind on your comments. So just quickly, Tony says he bites his lip when he thinks he's going to get caught. He did it a lot in his police interviews too. They're floating away. I'm back. I'm sorry. You guys don't know what the hell's going on. I'm so sorry. Tara says, I don't know the case well enough to try to assume why he'd delete the alert, but I'd assume feelings of paranoia to protect his ass. He's a paranoid pacing machine right now. Well, I don't want to lead us any direction, any of us, myself, you guys, in our opinions here, because we're going to look through it all and then make our opinions. But if someone else was there at the house cleaning up or something like that, and he would delete the alert then. And that's just me. Obviously, I'm biased because I know more about the case, and I've always kind of had the opinion that there maybe were people or someone helping. And maybe I'm totally wrong. Non-blonde millennial says that Nate embellishes a lot, to be honest. TW about to pass out. All right, let's hear this now.
Mind if you just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
He's never like that, the rocking back and forth.
Right.
And it doesn't look like he came from right here. It looks like he came from down the street. And then the other thing that doesn't make sense is why would he pull past this part? You can see him pull past.
Now, he's showing him the moment Chris backs his truck. If you look in this corner, I'm going to rewind it like 10 seconds, but look in the left top corner of the TV. You'll see the truck backing into the garage.
Are you able to record?
Right there, see?
Are you able to record this?
Uh-huh. I'd have to call Comcast so I can get him to do whatever. But watch, you'll see him get out. And he walks back and forth a couple times.
You'll see him get out and he walks back and forth a couple times, which you do see. And we can also watch this at a later date if we want to, but
To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs.
He said, if you guys can't hear because it's really quiet, to be completely honest, when they were on vacation, my wife and I were wondering if something happened because I have heard them screaming at the top of their lungs at each other. And remember, Chris also went on the vacation they went on. And for those of you who don't know, Shanann was gone alone as well for a time period. They had a trip to the East Coast where they're both from. They're both from North Carolina.
It's crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently.
I'm guessing that's why she went and visited people, is because she wanted to get away from the situation.
Do you have your ID handy?
So she's literally been reported missing no time. Mom already is thinking Chris is up to something. Nicole obviously calling police, so she thinks something's wrong. Nate, it's wild how quickly, they were thinking that it was him. Okay, so let's continue because I want to go a little further and then I'm going to let you guys go for a few minutes before we're back to Melissa's channel. So this says supplemental report, property. First, we have a pillowcase with residue. Now, I could be wrong, but I know that her mascara was smeared on, I think, the pillowcase. So I'm assuming that is that. Then we have pillowcases, top bed sheet with residue. Guess it could have been on that. Apple Watch, MacBook Pro, iPad, an Echo, a router. These are some of the things they took. We have leggings, clothes possibly last seen in, a book called Hold Me Tight. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find what this is. I saw this before and I should have looked it up. Hold Me Tight. 7 Conversations for a Lifetime of Love. A Couple's Guide to a Lifetime of Love. Hold Me Tight workbook. Hold on, let me see if I can tell us exactly what this says. Hold Me Tight. Are you looking to enrich a healthy relationship, revitalize a tired one, or rescue one gone awry? We want a lifetime of love, so it says it's the couple's best therapist. So these are literally books, and I remember hearing this and knowing this, but literally she's reading books about trying to make her marriage better. Like, it just makes you angry, knowing that. A light blue glove, all bedding and pillows from Bella's room, all bedding and pillows from Celeste's room. Corner master bedroom comforter, all master bedroom bedding. A Dell laptop. So this is someone who was requested from Coonrod to be on the case. Now, remember, Coonrod wrote the first report. So they say, on August 13th at 4:20 in the afternoon, approximately, it actually says 4:19, I arrived on scene to the 2800 block of Saratoga Trail at the request of Officer Coonrod. Upon arrival, he briefed me of information that Shanann Watts and her 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste, were missing from the residence. Officer Coonrod pointed out the residence to me, which is a yellow 2-story with brown trim. When I arrived on scene, the garage door was open and I observed a white Lexus SUV. I later observed a male, later identified as Christopher Watts, exit the residence. There was also a brown extended cab Ford pickup parked in the street in front of him. I hope I'm not cutting out because I don't know what's going on with my Starlink, but it's really frustrating and I'm so sorry, you guys. I spoke to Detective Baumhover over the phone, and he advised Sergeant Bakes was on his way over to check the house further for the 3 missing parties or for any note that may have been left behind. I spoke to Chris, and he advised he was fine with us going through his house. He said he was going to go walk around the neighborhood to clear his head. He advised he works for Anadarko as an operator, and he works Monday through Friday. I completed a consent to search form for the house. Christopher advised he is the homeowner. I advised Chris I wanted to search his house in its entirety for missing persons. I then had Chris read the bottom of the consent to search form and advised him to ask me any questions he may have before signing. He read the bottom and waived his right to a warrant and signed and dated. A few moments later, Sergeant Bakes, Officer Coonrod, and I searched the house. Chris advised we had, quote, free reign, unquote, and to, quote, do whatever you got to do, unquote. He was advised he can go inside with us or stay outside. He said he would stay outside on the deck. Chris advised they had been together 8 years and married for 6 this year. He advised it was very unusual behavior. He entered the house and put their dog in the backyard. Upon approaching the front door, I observed a Ring doorbell camera. Chris advised me he usually uses the garage door, and it depends what Shanann usually uses. He advised the only alerts he had for the doorbell were when her friends were here. He said the Ring would record as you approach the door, or it should record. He showed that she got home at 1:48 a.m. And the only thing that was weird was the garage door showed that it was still open after he left. Chris advised his alarm is through Vivid. I think it's not said that way. I think this is a misspelling. Vidant or something. Chris said her friend Nikki said the garage door was shut when she got there. Wait, so Chris claims, here's another thing. He claims the garage door was open after he left, yet her friend says it was closed when she arrived. Okay, I'm going to put another pin in that. I observed a purse on the kitchen counter along with a second phone in a black case. There was a green wallet in the purse. I observed Shanann's Colorado driver's license along with cash, multiple bank and debit cards. There's also nausea medication in the purse prescribed to Shanann. Upon searching the rest of the house, I did not find signs of damaged property or anything that would indicate some type of struggle. The house was very well kept and organized with exception to the office. I observed medication in Ziploc bags on the desk in the office. The medication was inhalers and what I recognized to be packages of medicine for nebulizers. There was also a prescription for Celeste of Omeprazole, 10 milligram. The Lexus was parked in the garage with 2 car seats in the back seat and keys sitting on the center console. There was also a remote to the garage attached to the passenger side visor. I did not observe anything out of the ordinary inside the Lexus. There was mail sitting on the passenger, other car seats sitting on the floor of the garage. The basement was unfinished and very well organized. There was a bed in the basement that had pillows and a blanket on it. The bed was not made. There was also a makeshift window covering on the bed or on the window near the bed. The master bedroom. He went upstairs to the master bedroom. Sergeant Bakes was looking at a blanket on the floor. I did not observe anything obviously damaged or anything that would indicate a struggle in the bedroom. The washing machine door was open and it appeared there were a couple child clothing items in the washer. There was a load of clothes in the dryer. The purple kids' bedroom did not have the bed made, but the sheets and blanket were on it. There was a Jack and Jill bathroom, pink, between the 2 bedrooms. There was not water in the toilet of the bathroom. I was advised the bathroom had previously been locked. There was a second bathroom off the loft upstairs that had the kids' stuff in the tub. Now, I remember this from the body cam. The toilet was completely empty, no water or anything. And I always wondered, like, why? That's so strange. I still wonder that. It says that there was also an organized playroom. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Shedding a tear about his missing family. Uh-oh, we're way far ahead. We'll get here next time. But but I want us to go in order. Wow. Okay, this is a lot we're going to be going through. It's actually what we're on now. Let's see. Here's where we were. I went upstairs into the master bedroom on the second level, the blanket on the floor. The washing machine door was open, and it appeared there were a couple child clothing items in the washer. There was a load of clothes in the dryer. We already read through this, I'm sorry. Backyard. Upon looking in the backyard, I went back outside to the front where Chris was. I observed there to be a latch at the top of the front door, something commonly used on hotel rooms that would prevent the door from opening unless the latch was unlatched. I also observed a pair of black, what appeared to be female flip-flops directly next to the front door. Chris advised the garage door pad on the exterior of the garage door did not work. He said you have to have the actual door opener to close it from the outside. Her door opening was in her car. Officer Coonrad pressed the garage door opener that is attached to the wall next to the door that leads into the house to see how long it would take for the garage to close. There was enough time for someone to press the button from inside and then run out. Well, I used to do that all the time at my parents' house. Okay, so we are going to read this one last part and then we're going to pause. Okay, so Chris advised all their family is in North Carolina. He advised she has friends in Frederick, Erie, Aurora, Parker, and he has tried to contact them. He advised he couldn't log in to check the bank accounts because she does the finances. He knows the password but not the username. He said they bank through USAA and Chase, and he was going to call and see if there was any activity. He advised the small black suitcase next to the staircase was from the trip Shanann just got back from that morning. They had went to Arizona for work. He advised the suitcase observed in their bedroom was from when they were in North Carolina. He said they just got back from North Carolina and she went to Arizona 2 days later. He advised if there was a stockpile of cash in the house, he would not have known about it. He said she normally only carries approximately $100 with her. So we're going to pause there because this is a really long report and it looks like it's going to get kind of interesting because it goes into he shedding a tear about her being missing, her being a helicopter mom, like all kinds of stuff. But because I wanted to keep it brief, I think that we'll stop right here. And then when we come back, we're going to finish this report. We have 1,900 pages to get through, so this is going to be a little bit of a long series. I do plan on bringing on some guests and stuff, my friends like Amber, Melissa, Bendy, whenever they want to, and going through this from start to finish. So, all right. Hey, Wolfie. Couple things. I just want to note some things that we heard today that are like sticking in my head. 12:42, the garage door was opened. The alert only happened to be on Shanann's phone. Wow. That's something that stands out to me. Let me think if there was one other thing and now it's left my mind. I love that you're here revisiting it with me because I am truly interested in knowing the facts. I was wondering that too, Tess. Thank you. I love your new photo, Natasha. I was like, is that our Natasha? I don't know. I don't want to be rude and ask, but yeah, I love that. Because we, the OGs, have that 2,000-page unredacted discovery. Watching from the beginning and immediately no. Is that true, Amber? Is there another discovery that's even longer than the 1960? Does anyone know if CW has gotten the crap beat out of him in prison yet? No, I don't think so, but there have been a ton of rumors about that. Tony says, I think NK was in the house when Shanann arrived home from the airport. Oh, another thing we were going to keep a pin in is her mom immediately told police to check his GPS, thinking he had done something. I don't think there's anything else. And there probably is, but okay. So anyways, I'm looking forward to going through this. It'll be a bit before our next one. Like, it's not going to be tomorrow. I want to catch up and talk about what's happened in Lori's trial so far. We're going to, of course, keep doing Casey. There's a lot of different things we're doing, but in the near future, we will start back right where we're leaving off here, and we're going to go through all of it. So thank you guys for being here with me tonight. We are going over to Melissa's to watch the next witness, who I think is another person that lived with Casey Anthony's boyfriend at the time that Kaylee went missing. So I hope to see you guys over there. I'm going to drop that link. Amber says, some claim they have more, but Teresa and I compared, and they don't have any more than the rest. Interesting. Well, thank you. Check out the links in the description. I linked a lot of the stuff we went over today, including, again, like I said, Amber's documentary. Thank you guys for being here. I hope to see you over at Melissa's, and I'll definitely talk to you guys tomorrow about something else. And yeah, I think that's it. If I don't see you later, I hope you guys have a good night. It's at 10 Eastern, so in about 50 minutes or so. Zoe, I love that you and Melissa are revisiting cases. I do too. We talked about revisiting OJ. Well, revisiting, I don't know that case at all. And Casey's. Like, I only know what you get on TV. Similar with this, I know a bit more from just like having conversations with people, but not deep diving all the files myself. It's a real big difference between what gets put out in a couple-minute news segment or whatever and what's actually there. That's one reason why I do love YouTube. And I don't know, I really kind of fell in love with the live communities as soon as I started participating in it, because you have time to go through so much more. And there's always more. There is always more to it. So anyways, thank you guys again for being here. I will see you in a little bit over at Melissa's. And yeah, have a good night if I don't, and talk to you soon. I'm not going to say goodbye for 20 minutes. I'm already saying the same shit over and over, and I do recognize that. I just want y'all to know I am self-aware. Okay, have a good night. Bye.